All right. First of all, I just want to start off by welcoming everyone here this morning as we talk about this very important issue for our community. I want to welcome our state senator and our partners in this, Senator Constantinides, Assemblywoman, definitely. Our state Assemblywoman Arabella Simotas. My colleague shares 21st Street with us, Jimmy Van Bramer. Al Santoro, president of Queensview. Karen Rosario from Vorts Charter School. Steve Cofield, representing Transportation Alternatives. Tom Johnson is representing North Queensview. We have representatives from the Ravenswood houses here. And also representatives from Hannock. Hannock Senior Center is here in Fort. But thank you all for being here this morning. As you can see by this amazing turnout, this is an extremely important issue for this neighborhood. Traffic safety on 21st Street is something that needs to happen. It needs to happen very quickly. Because as Al pointed out to me, there was a hit and run here 30 years ago. And yet this street still needs more safety measures to be taken care of. Astoria, as we talked about many, many times, is a growing community. Our state controller was here at Silver Crest Studios just a few weeks ago, unveiling his sort of snapshot of Western Queens. And it said what we already knew, that this is a neighborhood that's growing, both residentially and commercially. That we're moving towards the days, as Melinda Katz says, our wonderful borough president, where we're not going to have to go over a bridge or go under a tunnel to get anything that we need. And with that, with this boom that we're experiencing, the infrastructure has to keep up with it. And this corridor, from the RFK Bridge to Queens Plaza, is in desperate need of infrastructure improvements that are going to increase traffic safety. And that's what we're here to do today, to call on the DOT to remediate this street. And as you can see in our background, we have Long Island City High School, we have Hannock Senior Residence, we have the Valone Senior Residence, we have IS 126, we have Queensview and Queensview North. We have so many things happening on 21st Street. Seniors and children and residents crossing the street on a daily basis as our neighborhood grows and expands. The street has to be safe for them to cross. It cannot be a game of Frogger, where they're putting their life on the line to do simple things like getting milk, or go to class, or go to their senior events. And that's what our job in government is, to make government work for them. So we're asking and some of the crash stats. If you look at crash stat over the last 10 years, 7 people have died on this stretch. 102 people have been injured. There have been close to 100 collisions in the last year along this stretch, where there may not be serious injuries, but still injuries. So we're asking DOT to help slow down 21st Street so it's not so fast and so furious. So we're asking for a traffic light right here on 33rd Road. So the residents of, I see the applause here. We're asking for a traffic light right here. So the residents going to this shopping center, or the seniors that go from the North at Queensview to the senior center, or to the senior center right here, aren't taking their lives in their hands. As they're the traffic light at 34th Avenue to Broadway is such a long stretch. They shouldn't be taking their lives in their hands going just to their basic needs for their lives. We're asking that there are countdown clocks on not just these corners, but every corner along 21st Street. So you know how everyone knows it gives them longer to cross the street, but they also know how long they need to get across the street. They shouldn't be left in no man's land as they start to cross the street, and then all of a sudden the light changes on them. That shouldn't happen. We want to make sure that all of our crosswalks are evened out. So if you have a walker or a stroller, or you're just walking across the street, you shouldn't be tripping over a crosswalk as you're going across, and that the street should be regraded and across every intersection, where you're not tripping in a pothole as you're trying to make it across this very busy street. And lastly, we're asking that DOT does a traffic study, because they have so many tools in their toolbox to help make this street safer. And this is something that our community board, Bob Piazza, has asked for, that Transportation Alternatives has asked for, that Queensview has asked for, that North Queensview has asked for, that our seniors have asked for, that elected officials have asked for. So we're just asking DOT lives up to the vision that Bill de Blasio talked about on Wednesday, his Vision Zero, and that one traffic fatality is acceptable in New York City. So with that, I'll turn it over to our state senator, our good friend, Senator Michael Gennaro.
Let me thank Councilman Constantinides for his leadership. Only 3 weeks on the job, and he's already bringing us together on an important issue like this. We have requested a traffic light at this intersection, I don't know how many times from DOT, and been rejected time and time again. One of the big problems is the city bureaucracy waits for someone to die before they do something to fix an intersection. It's backwards and it's crazy. We can say with confidence, those of us who live in this neighborhood, we know that eventually it will happen here if we don't put a traffic light on this corner, which has been requested by the people at Queensview, by the seniors in Hannock, for so long. There are other things that need to happen on this stretch. It's getting busier by the day. Development is continuing, which is great as long as the infrastructure keeps up. And right now the traffic infrastructure is not keeping up with the growth in this neighborhood. We need to do whatever we can, bring some attention to it. I'm thrilled that the new mayor seems to be focusing on traffic safety, pedestrian safety as a priority early in his administration. We look forward to working with him to make this stretch of 21st Street safer. Thank you.
Thank you for your leadership. Next is our Assemblywoman, Arabella Simotis.
Thank you, Councilman Constantinides. It's wonderful to be here at your first press conference as a council member, so thank you and welcome. As the senator mentioned, this is a request, putting a traffic signal on this corner has been a request I think that all of the elected officials in this neighborhood have done. The reason is because the residents who live around this area, every time a new elected official gets inducted, come to our office and tell us how dire the situation is. This neighborhood needs additional traffic calming signals. My office also requested one. When we were rejected, we asked that the current traffic calming devices be stalled so that there's more time for people to be able to look across the street. That request was rejected. Then we asked for the study. We asked the Department of Transportation for the study that they did that led to the rejection. We were actually told, well, we can't give it to you unless you make a legal request. So my office made a legal request. And then they said we need more time to give it to you. So clearly we're getting the runaround. There's been no study in this intersection, in this neighborhood, to determine the fact that there's lots of cars that go across 21st Street. There's more pedestrians, seniors, people with baby carriages who are crossing the streets to get to the thoroughfare, to get to the supermarkets, to get to their schools. Once the study is done, it will be a no-brainer. We need a traffic signal here. We need the cars here to slow down. I'd like to thank Costa again for leadership on this issue and urge Mayor de Blasio to get his vision done quickly, because we cannot afford any more fatalities and any more risks of just people having to run across the street and being injured by having to run across the street to get to where they're going. Thank you very much, Costa.
Thank you, Arabella, for your continued leadership. I always know I'm in the right place when I'm standing next to Arabella Simotis, because she's always fighting for the right issues in our community, so thank you, Arabella. Next is my good friend and our colleague, Jimmy Van Bramer, and he and I have worked on this issue together even before I was elected, walking down 21st Street. He's been a strong advocate for traffic safety in his community and all our communities. Councilmember Jimmy Van Bramer.
Thank you very much. I just want to say thank you to Costa Constantinides, Councilmember Constantinides, for making this his first press conference and making sure that Vision Zero is a reality in his district, in my district, and all over the city. It is a pleasure to have worked with you before you were a council member, and now it's going to be so great to work with you as a council member, and you're going to be great. Isn't it going to be great? Yeah. I just want to say 21st Street is a busy street, and I represent south of 34th Avenue all the way to the Queens Midtown Tunnel, which includes the neighborhoods of Ravenswood and Queensbridge, Long Island City. This is a serious issue. And while this is a busy street, it is not a highway. 21st Street is not a highway, but cars think of it as a speedway. They go way too fast. And we have asked for common sense, simple solutions to calm traffic here. And I want to say that it is too late to put up a stop sign or a signal after someone has died, after someone has been injured. It is too late to do that. The job of government, the job of all of us, is to make sure that we put up appropriate signage, that we calm these streets to prevent accidents. That's our role. We need Vision Zero on 21st Street, on every street in the city of New York, and I am so proud to stand with all of my colleagues here and everywhere to make sure not one more death in the city of New York, not one more ever. Thank you very much.
I agree. Go Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy, for your continued leadership. And we'll be at a press conference in a little while, fighting for better transportation. But next, of course, we have so many great groups that have helped move government along. First, I want to introduce our Transportation Chair of Community Board 1, Bob Piazza. Bob, there you go.
Hi, Astoria. I'm friends of Astoria. You know, they say experience is the best teacher. I had to cross the street a little while ago. It was close. Just to tell you where the community board is on this, we've already, the Department of Transportation know that we want to study here in writing, and we've sent them suggestions on things they could do here. They're coming in and looking at it is very important to us because, truthfully, they'll make the best decisions, hopefully, on what can be done on each street without tying up the street behind it. You know, so, again, just to let you know, we are working. Thank you.
Next, I want to introduce Steve Schofield, who has been working tirelessly on this issue. They've helped organize walks down 21st Street. Been fighting with us and been great partners. Steve Schofield from Transportation Alternatives.
Hi, I'm Steve Schofield. I'm the co-chair of the Queens Committee of Transportation Alternatives. TA has been advocating for safe, complete streets in New York for 40 years, and on a local level, we have a volunteer committee of people who live and work in Astoria, Long Island City, Jackson Heights, Rego Park, wherever, pushing for safe and complete streets all over the borough of Queens and all over the city. And it's also just personal for me. I grew up on 21st Street. 2311 21st Street was my address when I was a kid. It was scary then, scary now. My mom lives just a little ways down there in the Below Senior Citizen Center, 92 years old. She's right on 21st Street too. It's an 11-story building full of senior citizens who are scared to cross the street there. Anyway, I want to thank the council member for making this his priority, making this his first press conference. This is incredible. This is a wonderful turnout. I can't thank you enough. I want to thank Bob Piazza for backing this effort, our elected officials, State Senator Gianaris, Assemblymember Simotis, and Councilmember Van Bramer, and I want to thank some of the coalition members who've been out here, schools and businesses, the Tenants Association, Katie and Claire from Green Shores, Frank Markovitz, Al Santoro, Garrett Cavallino from Queensview, Carol Wilkins from Ravenswood, Monsignor Ogle from Mount Carmel, who's been a great supporter. I also want to give a shout out to Julie Dubowski, who's been captaining this project for TA and can't be here today. She's done an incredible job on this. So, 21st Street doesn't have to be a threat to people's safety. It doesn't have to be a barrier that separates a neighborhood. People who live over there shouldn't be separated from people who live and work over here. It should unite us, not separate us. Right now, the street is a wall that separates the two halves of the neighborhood. So we want DOT to undertake this traffic study and start making some infrastructure improvements and do something about this. But you know, this is just about 21st Street. Every neighborhood in the city has got a 21st Street. And we've all got to deal with this on a grassroots level like we're doing here now. Go to our electeds, go to DOT, and push for it. And it's just, I'm very, very heartened that the mayor is taking this seriously. His press conference Wednesday was just amazing. That in his first 2 weeks in office, he's made this one of his #1 priorities. He is saying that he's going to identify 50 corridors and locations throughout the city in his first year in office and every year to make safer. And we want 21st to be one of those 50 and happen this year. So anyway, with everybody's help here, we're going to make this happen. I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is a phenomenal turnout. Once again, thank you.
Thank you for your great work, working with the coalition and everything, putting things together. Next we have Tom Johnson, who's representing the co-op owners here at North Queensview.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for all coming out for this event, and we are trying to get a traffic light installed here, which is way overdue. Between North Queensview and Queensview, we have over 1,000 residential units. We have many elderly people. We have a lot of school children who cross 21st Street on a daily basis to go back and forth to school, grocery shopping, doctors, whatever. And myself, just crossing 21st Street, I've had a couple of near misses with cars turning and speeding at different intersections. It really is a hazardous road that has to be tamed, if you for lack of a better word. So we're asking DOT, we're asking our mayor, take a look at this. Let's get some action on this light, and we need it now before another fatality happens. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done.
And last but certainly not least, Al Santora, who's president of Queensview.
Good morning, everybody. I want to thank our local council people, state senators, state assemblywoman for being here. It's a very important issue for Queensview North, and for the whole community. Councilman Von Bremer just said earlier that we shouldn't have another death. Well, we've had too many already. 30 years ago this year, a young man right on this corner where we're standing was killed by a hit-and-run driver, Anthony DePippo. 4 years ago, husband and wife crossing on 21st Street on 34th Avenue were hit. The husband died, elderly couple, the husband died, the woman survived. They lived in Queensview North, were visiting their son and daughter who lives in Queensview, just across the street. These things have been happening right along. This has been going on much too long. We need some kind of traffic control here, and the study that hopefully will be done will bring a stoplight or something along those lines that will slow the traffic down in this area. This is too dangerous of an intersection. It is impossible to get across, even with the lights as they are right now. The countdown clocks are essential so that people will know, as was said, that they can get across the street safely. I hope that this endeavor is not for naught. I hope that the city, I hope the new mayor listens very clearly. We have the Boulevard of Death. Queens Boulevard has been named that. Well, this is the street of death. 21st Street is a terrible, terrible street to have to cross, even at the lights. We fought a number of years ago to get a delayed light on Broadway in 21st Street for the children in LIC to be able to cross, safely. It took us several years to get that. We finally got that, and that's made a big difference. So that they can cross before the traffic moves in any direction. And maybe that's something that we might need as well. Thank you very much for listening. Alexander Santora, President of Queensview. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. And thank each and every one of you for being here. Government's job is to hear the people. And each and every one of you are here. You're making government listen. And it's government in the best way. Government from the bottom up instead of the top down. So thank you for all of your activism and standing and nudging us forward as we have great elected officials here who have been working on this issue for so long. And now I'm sort of joining the team and making this my first press conference because it's a strong priority for me and for everyone in this neighborhood that we make traffic safety our #1 priority as we build our forward. So we're all going to work hard for you. And this is something we're again calling on DOT to get done as soon as possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you.